5 years of practice. Then you got beat by newcomers. You still can't talk. But yeah, I remember even during the scavenger hunt, me and my wife, of course, you know, we were trying to work together on the clues, and so of course she looking at the clues and was like, I think that everything that's bold has got to be an item. I said, well, babe, it ain't the same the way we do it, you know. Could be that this bold one and this bold one tells you that this is the item. So we were trying to break down the thing that went on at the pool, and so when I went to the pool, you saw the king and you saw the water, the pool, I think it was pool, then king, and then jewel, and then I saw a basket of jewels. So that's how I tried to like figure that part out. But of course, me and my wife, I knew she was going to just think her way through it. Because I was like, yeah, this is my lawyer. And even though she's been taken away from the house a lot for being a lawyer and stuff like that, I still appreciate the time that she's able to put into the house and into just me and her. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a good one right there. Like, we still get to watch basketball together a lot. And when watching basketball, it's just so funny because everyone knows how the series is going right now, and you just be sitting there screaming at some of them guys. Like, for instance, I'd be getting mad at the Mavericks because I feel like if there's going to be an MVP, if the Heat win, I think it's Mario Chalmers that's the MVP. You think about it. I mean, this cat ran and shot a half-court shot 2 games in a row. And I'm like, if you got a guy shooting like that, the whole team needs to be guarding him. So other than that, I would have given him the MVP before I give it to LeBron or Dwayne Wade. And then I thought about what I was saying, and I was like, hey, look, if I was the coach, I'd guard him no matter what time the game is. I mean, they could get in and call the timeout. Timeout! And I'll be sitting right with him. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. I can see it now. The coach was like, substitution. And you know how they are when they come out, I got him. I'd be right with him. I mean, I tell you, even if at halftime he had to go to the bathroom, I'd be right at the stall door. Hey, did you wipe? Did you wipe? So, and that's when you know that man's a threat. When you got to go through all that to keep him from shooting the basket or anything else for that matter. All right. So other than that, like I said, I just appreciate that basketball time that my wife gives me because, of course, she wants to be able to watch other things like basketball, but basketball is like the hot thing right now, so she has to kind of deal with it.
That's right.
So, like the whole family, we all sit there and we watching it, and then again, like I said, Cadence does things, and I try not to spank her. My wife be like, don't spank her for this and don't spank her for that. And then my daughter is so funny because I'll pick her up from school. She done got her name on the board. It's like the worst thing in the world when you get a 4-year-old with their name on the board. And so she comes up and I'm like, hey, Cadence, how was your day today? Oh, Daddy, I got my name on the board, but I think I got my name on the board. And the reason why is just don't spank me, okay? I'll do better tomorrow. Just don't spank me. If you don't spank me, I'll do better tomorrow. Now me sitting there like, well, what did you do? Why I Miss Gisella and Miss Gisella and then just don't spank me. Because if you don't spank me, then I'll do better tomorrow. And I'll be like, but you still ain't telling me what you did. So, of course, the teacher's just like, she just talked a little too much. But don't spank me, Daddy. Don't spank me. She interrupts and don't spank me. And I'm like, if you done went through all this, never mind. We ain't going to worry about the spanking. It's just you talking. So, I told the teacher, I'll talk to her when we get home, whatever the case may be. And so, I wish, because every time I look at her, and of course, everyone like, she looks just like you. But I wish what she does to me is what I could have did when it was my dad and me. I mean, I could have never walked to my daddy talking about, oh, please don't, please don't, pow! I said my daddy was crazy. For instance, like, we used to get whippings. And so, you come in my house, or whatever, first, before you even came in my house, like, you're getting a whipping for whatever it is you did. So my dad always had like a standing place or something like that. Stand right there while you get your licks. And so you here and you're getting your licks. So your next beat, stand right there. You standing right there and don't move. Stand right here. Stand right here. So you done stood in like every spot in the house. And by that time, man, people used to come over. They thought we were pirates. We had X's all over the floor. And I was like, man, where's the treasure? So I remember that, and my friends used to be like, man, what is wrong with your daddy, babe? You got little X marks and spots. What do y'all do? Y'all play Twister? Like, you just don't want to know, man. And so, my dad, he was very big on rules that only apply to everybody but him. All right? And so, like, for instance, you can't break a plate, or that raises the light bill, or something like that. Like, I'm washing dishes, and I just happen to drop one. Hey, man, we only got one excuse. We break the plate, that's raising the light bill. And I'm like, light bill? What they got to do with anything? So, also, like, for instance, the water bill was a big thing with us, too. So, he sat the whole family down and was like, hey, look, all right, we're in a crunch time right now. I'm going to need y'all to take 30-second shower. Like, what? Yeah, all right, what you're going to do is you're going to cut the water on. Get yourself wet. All right? Lather the soap. Well, no, cut the water on. Get yourself wet. Cut the water off. Lather the rag. Wash yourself. Cut the water on. Rinse yourself off. Cut the water on and get your butt out the tub. And so for 2 weeks, you got everybody. 28.6. You knew that whipping was coming. And 31.4. So I remember one day I just got bold. I said, man, I'm going to get me a good shower in. So I'm in there, and I cut the water on, and I'm in there, it's so great. And about a minute went past, all of a sudden you hear the door wide open. Whoo! And he opens the shower. Man, you only got 30 seconds, man. You gonna be stank tonight. And then cut the shower out. Get up, dry yourself off. You stink. You just gonna be stank to bed. So I'm going to bed, half wet. I'm like, oh my God, this dude taking this too serious. But obviously, like I said, it don't apply to him. He in there 10 minutes. I got band practice, right? So my dad was notorious for taking a shower right when you gotta go somewhere. I'm like, okay, my band practice at 4:30. He gets off at 3:30, which means he's gonna be home about 3:45. He'll get home at 3:45. Hey, Dad, I gotta go to band practice. I know you just got home, but I gotta get to band practice. Yo, okay, come here, Daddy. Just let me get the shoes, Daddy. So he goes sit down. 4:15, I'm sitting there like, I'm going to have to run laps because he's going to do the same thing he do every single time. I remember I got to do a food line, so I need to shower. So gets in the shower. It's 4:30 now. Finally get out and then dry it off. 4:55. I get to band practice maybe about 5:10. No, it's not band practice. It was the football game that night. I think the game was at like 7, but the report time was like so early that no one could possibly be late. And I'm the only one riding up when the band gear get on the bus. I'm like, come on, man. So that's how my dad was when it came down to the showers. It was, we had 30 seconds. He had 10 or 15 minutes of just pure water. And so, he just had all kinds of crazy things like that. But my mom could not stand that stuff, and so with her, she used to always say, Daddy ignorant, your daddy ignorant. To pull us in the corners, and so of course my dad would come up with another silly rule, like for instance, me and my brothers, of course, we 13, 14, 15, we kind of developed, so we walk around in our underwear or whatever, and he was like, hey, y'all, we got this, we got that going on, and then of course I think my sister started noticing, little girls started noticing. I have a baby sister. Of course, my dad was like, hey, look, and this is him coming fresh out the bathroom, which was so funny. Hey, look, y'all can't be walking around in your drawers with your sister because she's starting to notice stuff, and then come right out the bathroom in his drawers. So it don't apply to So I thought that was hilarious about him, but like I said, my mama could not stand that kind of stuff, and so she used to always pull us in the corner and tell us, yeah, you don't know what he's talking about, and blah, 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 blah. But again, you didn't want to get on her bad side either. She was like my savior before I even found out about Jesus. Boy, she was Jesus. Cause, sometimes my dad would be mad at us, and then of course my mom would be like, well, I'm just going to take them to the store. And we'd be going to the store for like 8 hours. Picking up the same can of fruit for 5 hours. Just, hey, I think I want peaches. 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 So, my mom mom used to try to say it was like that, but when you got on her bad side, I prefer my dad whipping me over my mom. I think a lot of people are like that, because your mama, when she whips you, she got to talk to you. And my mom used to talk about stuff that you did as a baby. You know, be like, you know what? And I should have spanked you when you spit up on me. And I should have spanked you when you broke the glass when you were 2. You know, I'm 17, mom. I shouldn't be getting beat anymore, but you know. So my mom used to trip me out with that. But one thing I can say, my mom has always been like a cheerleader for me until my lovely Cranberry took over. And she loves having Christy into the family, because I remember even at the wedding, my mom, she always tries to like make she wants things to be big, and I know it's because we've always had like the hard times in life, and so she wants things to be big, but I just thought it was hilarious. She was given the toast, and so she has the glass and has everybody all stand up. They remember because they was at the wedding, and she's talking about, and Christy, you're getting a wonderful, take care of my baby boy, and blah, 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 blah. And just like the Jewish people say, like, like, man, oh man. We roll over there. So to this day, I still call her, like, hey, Mom, what is And then I remind her about the times, like, between her and Dad, who I couldn't stand beating me or whatever. Like, my dad, this one time he whipped me because I forged my report card. You can get with me for that. I mean, you say what you want to. But, so I forged my report card. I had 2 F's up there, and I wanted to play Nintendo. And so I was already on a 9-week suspension from Nintendo because I had bad grades for the previous 9 weeks. And so I was like, man, I just got Ninja Turtles. I'm trying to play. So I waited till it was dark. I took the report card and I, took the F's and turned them into B's with pencil. Took it to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you got B's." I'm like, "Well, yeah, go on upstairs, Daddy. You go and play Nintendo." So I'm enjoying it. But why at 5:30 in the morning? Night! I'm like, oh my God. My mom called me downstairs. I haven't showed you Daddy yet. You think we stupid. But the teachers at the time, they wrote they did like a green report card, and they wrote it in like the black filter pen where it's gonna stick. And then I wrote it as an idiot in pencil. So you just see like this shiny, like half a 3 going towards the F's. And she was like, "You think we stupid? We gonna get you when we get home." And so of course it was like 6:30 that morning. Because I got sold out from 5:30 to 6:30 before she told Dad. And so, of course, she was going to whip me. And she's like, "No, I'm just going to tell your daddy instead." And at first time, I was like, yes, tell him. He only going to give me 3 good, strong licks with the gun belt, and I'm good. All right? So, he gets upstairs. He goes upstairs about 6:30. And he's up there, sitting in his white, he's getting dressed and putting his socks on. He's one guy like to tuck his shirt in his underwear. So, it was weird because, when she walking in there with me by the hand, he in there, yeah, what do you need? What do you need? And they're like, okay, girl, he got something he need to tell you. And so I'm like, well, I wanted to play Nintendo, and so I'm trembling, and I made the SBs, and you did what? What's mine when I get home? So he went ahead and finished on up, and I went to school the whole day. And I know that's like the worst way in the world. It's when you're thinking about it all day long. So I'm in 5th period looking, I'm like, all right, it's almost 3 o'clock. It's only 12, it's almost 3. And I'm just counting down. I'm at lunch trying to eat 1,000 apples. Like anything to keep the butterflies down.